Time to do some detective work.
Get that stuff out of here. It's Southwest Bias.
Welcome into Southwest Bias on this fine Tuesday, brought to you by our friends at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. You do you at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. And we are live from Studio K, as the sign says right above me. I finally got the point right. Brought to you by our friends at Circle K. Become a member of the Inner Circle today by downloading that Circle K app for free. I think Calais Campbell and I might have a little beef. All right, maybe not beef, but for the only Cardinal that's in my age range, I think we maybe disagree a little bit on something here. Calais Campbell is a guy that is the heartbeat of the Cardinals locker room. A man that knows more football than most of us, probably has forgotten more football than most of us will ever know. A man that's seen the best and the worst of the Arizona Cardinals in his two stints with the franchise. But yesterday, he had this to say after their practice.
Well, I'll say it like this, the mistakes that we made, and the plays that, that we kind of hurt ourselves on, for us to still be able to be in the ball game at the end of it, it says a lot about what we could be if we do it right, We just got to get to that point where we're consistently playing just good ball, just good team ball, and let the rest take care of itself. But, it's a good sign that we're still in ball games, even when we make the mistakes that we made.
I'm going to disagree with you, Calais. Respect you. Think you're an all-time great. Should be in the Ring of Honor when this is all said and done. But we know who the Arizona Cardinals are. You're part of a great defense, but a not very good team. This Cardinals offense will continue to hold back this team from accomplishing anything that it wants. This defense will continue to play well under Jonathan Gannon and Nick Rallis. They'll get people back. Will Johnson might be back this weekend. Walter Nolan eventually will be back when they open his window and he starts practicing. They've got room to get even better on the defensive end. But the offense just isn't good. And it might get worse is the thing. But I want to take a look at some of these numbers to put it in perspective when it comes to the Arizona Cardinals offense. They're 28th in total yards, 28th in passing yards per game, 22nd in rushing yards per game, 22nd in total points per game, but that's not all. In first downs per game, 26th. In yards per pass attempt, they're 28th. Yards per completion, they're 31st. QB sack percentage, they're 26th. Rushing first downs per game, they're 29th. Team rushing touchdowns, they're 30th. They are not a good team offensively. And now Trey Benson may be out as well. They don't have a running back right now that can actually pull it off. DeMarcado has shown some flashes, but you want to trust Michael Carter now too? That whole identity is out the window. And maybe for a while. We got to see how long Trey Benson is out. But when you look at the passing, Kyler's yards per attempt in his career, 7.3 yards per attempt. This year, 5.8. Completed air yards per completion, which is how far the ball travels before it's caught. Kyler, 5.2 yards per game over his career, 3.6 yards per game this year. He's only averaging 185 yards passing this season, which is the lowest of his career by 30 yards per game. We know who this Cardinals team is. They are a team that will continue to compete every week on defense. Maybe enough to keep them close in these games like we've seen in the first 4 weeks. But you've got an offense that you cannot trust to move the ball, to score, and to be able to figure out play calling that's aggressive enough to make things work. We talked about how bad last Thursday's first half was. One of the worst offensive first halves we've ever seen. And the stats bear out that this is just not a team that has figured it out. They've taken steps backwards over the last few years under Drew Petting. I wish that I could look at it and I could say we see what this team could be. That this team could be 4-0. That this team could be in the lead in the NFC West. But the reality is they're not. The reality is this offense has not figured out anything. And the stats bear that out. Why do we think that this team will get better offensively? What have we seen that gives us hope? Maybe Marvin Harrison Jr. kind of figuring it out in the second half last game can give you hope that maybe that offense can click, but we're talking 3.6 yards in the air per completion. It's check down. It's check down. It's check down. We've heard analysts say that that's the way the offense is built. First read not there, check down. That's not the way you're going to win football games. That's not the way you're going to score points for this defense. 20 points per game is putting a hell of a lot of pressure on that defense to come through. And they have. And you still have not been able to do enough to win. That comeback was fun. Gives you a little hope. But they could be a lot of things. But right now, what they actually are is not a very good football team. Without a path to actually become a better team offensively with the injuries that are starting. And the offensive line has not played well. Now, maybe Will Hernandez coming in can help stem that tide, but they are giving up sacks at a high rate. They're not blocking well when it comes to the rush, for the rushing game. It's not a very good football team right now. So could they be better? Sure. Will they? I don't know, and I'm starting to think it won't be. But maybe that's just my Southwest bias. Welcome in the mustache behind the Mac, Shane Diefenbach, onto the program. Shane, how are you feeling about this Cardinals team? What they could be and what they really are? Duty? Is that what that was?
Yeah, it's not. I mean, that's the offense specifically. Like I just, it's so uninspiring and it's like it's fundamentally flawed is the biggest problem. There's not like you got to check down Charlie at quarterback whose legs are being used a little bit more this year, but the production hasn't been there. There's like no designed quarterback run in this offense, and then you lost your bell cow. Look, I do believe that running back is an easier position than most to replace in the NFL, especially if you have the right pieces literally in front of you in that offensive line. But losing a guy like James Conner doesn't just hurt your run game; it hurts your team and and the vibe and
the belief.
Yeah, and so like there are just so many things wrong with this offense that it doesn't just start and end with Marv. It doesn't just start and end with Kyler. It starts at the top and it trickles all the way down. And you would think that if it doesn't improve and you see these numbers like we saw earlier in the show, similar to where they are in the middle point of the season, you would assume that there's going to be changes made, but who knows?
Yeah, I don't see a path. Your point about running back, sure, but I think when you get down to third and fourth string guys having to carry the load, that's a problem. I think you can only dig so deep when it comes to that running back position. And maybe Michael Carter will surprise. Maybe he'll come out and do some things that he's shown flashes for. But for an offense that was predicated on that, I don't know what you're going to do. And I made the mistake of watching the Jets last night because I was at my parents' house. And I've said, my dad was a Mets and a Jets fan. So he had the Jets game on against the Dolphins. And I saw Justin Fields take off for a couple runs, and I was like, that's what we missed from Kyler. We used to love that about Kyler, and I even feel like that's been kind of pulled out of him at this point. And checkdowns, to Jeff's point, one of the bias in the chat, saying hoping a checkdown can break free for an explosive is just dumb. I maybe every once in a while, but if that's your offensive system, you're going to wind up with these offensive numbers that you got right now, man. And I don't know. Does firing a coordinator midstream do much? Probably not.
Maybe.
I mean, is it gonna? How much can you change an offensive system? In the middle of a season.
Yeah, I mean, you can't, but you can change the way you use the offensive system.
Yeah, play calling, I guess.
I think that something that hasn't been talked about a lot. You want your number one wide receiver to be your number one wide receiver. You want a guy who you use so much draft capital on to be as good as advertised.
Yeah.
But what you also need is Michael Wilson. And Dortch has been okay, but you need Michael Wilson to step up, because if he's your number 2 wide receiver, he needs to be better.
But he can't. What can he do if he's not getting thrown the ball? Every opportunity, it seems like he's making a big play. That crazy one-handed catch to get that first down, the touchdown that he got when he's getting 3-4 opportunities a game.
Yeah, but targets aren't just predicated on where the read is. Targets are also predicated on being open. And I would just hope he would have become more of an alpha in this offense, especially the way that Kyler has talked about him his entire career.
It's
hard to put blame on anybody right now because you don't really know where the source of the problem is. Like at the end of the day, it's all of these parts as a whole that are causing it. Like it's not just one person.
Yeah, I find it interesting. Kurt Warner had a great film breakdown online yesterday, kind of showing how Greg Dortch and the way he runs a route can have a large impact on getting somebody like an MHJ open, because it forces the defense to cheat down on you and can't just stay in a certain slot. Like that kind of stuff. There are all sorts of intricacies. But again, I think some of that comes down to coaching. You're not coaching those guys up in practice and saying, this is what you need to do in these situations to try to get your teammate open. I think it's a whole systemic problem. You don't rank that poorly on offense without a lot of problems.
Well, you know what else helps receivers get open and helps people cheat down? A good running game. And
that's fair.
And you're going to have to try to establish that again with Trey Benson when he gets healthy.
Well, and you can't double Trey McBride and all that if you got a good running game too, because you got to focus on that run defense there as well.
Here's what needs to happen. They need to run the wing tee, the wishbone. They just need to be a power run team, and Marv can sit out there by himself and you can take 2 to 3 shots to him a game. Just run the Army, run a hurry up power run offense. Just make it gross.
Just run the option with Kyler.
Yeah, get Trey McBride in the wing tee, get his hand in the dirt, and let's go.
Kyler and Dortch running the option. Let's just try some things. I was talking about things that rated poorly. The Cardinals training facility last year rated pretty poorly, but it appears that they have an answer that's going to come up. They announced that they have a new training facility that is going to be up in North Phoenix off the 101 and Scottsdale Road. A new training facility that's going to have multiple grass fields, 3 of them, a field house that includes an indoor turf field, a grass field, that they are going to have a facility worthy of an NFL team. It's going to open in 2028. You may remember that earlier in the year, they suggested, or actually said, that they were planning on updating their Tempe facility, and instead they realized they don't quite have the land or the flexibility there to build the kind of facility that they're hoping for. So they announced that this is the spot where they're going to build. The renderings of this look like it's going to be gorgeous. Renderings always do. If you had a bad drawing of a facility, I think we'd have some concern about what it would look like, but looks like it's going to be nice. It sounds like the business operations will be moving up there as well. I will say I am a little sad as an East Valley boy that the Tempe facility will be going away over on Warner and near Kyrene, Warner and Hardy there, because I grew up right there. I drive by it on the regular, and you try to catch a glimpse of the Aeneas Williams, the Larry Centers, those guys through the fence at the times. So I'll miss that. But what I find interesting is the placement of this Cardinals new facility, because it may look familiar to you. You may recognize this. Yeah, it's the exact spot that the Coyotes had proposed that they were going to put their arena. exactly at Scottsdale and the 101 directly. I mean, if you overlay the two things, it's the same exact footprint almost of where they wanted to go. Land auction, the Cardinals wound up buying it after the Coyotes bailed on the Valley and decided to move to Utah. All sorts of things make me wonder how that happened. All sorts of things make me wonder how we wound up here. But it's obvious that it wasn't an aversion to having a sports complex there, because that's where they've gone. It's not an aversion to having retail and sports out there, because that sounds like what they're going to use this piece of land for. I wonder if it was just an aversion to the guy trying to buy the land in Alex Morello, a guy that everybody had all sorts of questions with and questions about his business dealings. And now we see that land for almost the same price go to the Arizona Cardinals instead. I'm happy for the Cardinals. They deserve a new facility, and Phoenix deserves to have that kind of crown jewel in their city. But it makes me wonder a whole hell of a lot about why the Coyotes aren't almost ready to open their arena there. And instead, the Cardinals are almost ready to put shovels in the ground to build a training facility. We're going to look back over time and have so many damn questions about how the Coyotes moved to Utah. And this just adds another one on the plate for me. I need a book. I need a documentary. I need something that gets to the bottom of this, because I guarantee there's more to it than we've seen. A couple other things going on. Jalen Green announced that he is no longer an Adidas athlete. So he's going to be moving on, looking for a new shoe company. I wonder if Devin Booker got in his ear and said, hey, come on over here.
I think you just need common sense to jump ship on Adidas. Sorry, ASU, but
probably.
Specifically for basketball, one, their track record with shoes and injuries.
Not good.
Very bad.
Not good.
And two, checks over stripes. Nike's better. Nike's always been better.
I just, I wonder if Book was like, hey, I need you in these Book 2s that are coming out this year. If we're going to be a dynamic backcourt, you cool with, and then maybe I help you get something on the backside, or maybe it's like a Skechers or somebody that's going to go after them. I always enjoy some random shoe company. Did anybody see the New Balance rejuvenation coming, other than Shane, who's rocked the New Balances since I've known him? I don't think so. So I find all this interesting. I love the shoe game. And we will see where Jalen Green winds up. He's a free agent now. I imagine that'll be the case for a big part of the season. But I'm going to guess we see him wearing some Book 1s at some point this year. And then one other thing that was unveiled this week, yesterday, as a matter of fact, the Valley Suns unveiled a new court. And I got to tell you, I think this thing is freaking gorgeous. I am a man that loves the design elements of a court. I'm a sucker for it. And if you look at this, the beautiful Valley Suns-esque, which we saw, but now there's the mountain that was very much like the Valley court that we saw, and then the cactus in the paint, a lighter purple on that darker purple with the orange accents. I think this is beautiful. I hope they're testing things that they might want to try on Suns courts, because I love subtle designs in the paint like that. I think it is a gorgeous court. Hats off to the Valley Suns and the design group over there, because this is fantastic. I love this court. Shane, are you a sucker for courts? Are you a guy that likes this kind of stuff?
Big time. Yeah, this is sweet. I'm a big fan. You know what color scheme I'm a big fan of? Any color scheme that has a darker or a lighter color instead of a darker color. Like, I love black jerseys that have lighter black accents in the jerseys. Yeah. I'm a big fan of the lighter purple prints, like the cactus, and oh my God, it's so good. Big fan.
Little details, I think, make all of it, whether it's a uniform or a court or a field like the Cardinals had last week. We've been in a renaissance of fields and courts right now. On the other side of the break, Suns and Mercury owner Matt Ishbia sat down with me yesterday. And we're going to show you that interview right after this. Got to tell you about my friends over at Zen Leaf Dispensary. All right, Phoenix, whether you're gearing up for game day, which we got a big one coming up on Friday, we got Suns preseason, we got a Mercury game as well, the game one of the finals. We got all sorts of games going on Friday. Or if you're winding down after a hike up Camelback, which I've never done, or just trying to recover from a brutal Cardinals offensive performance. Do it with Zen Leaf Dispensary. Zen Leaf is your go-to spot for cannabis. We're talking flower, vapes, edibles, and more. Whatever you are into, they've got it covered for you, all from brands you trust, with locations across the valley. We got one in the East Valley near me in Gilbert. There's one in Chandler, North Phoenix, and more. It's easy to swing by before kickoff, or order online for express pickup post-workout, or if you're like me, just because. And check out this offer. For a limited time only, you're getting 50% off your order using Zen PHNX at Zen PHNX for 50% off your order, just for watching the show. You can only use it once though, so make sure that you stock up with this amazing discount. Whether you've been around the block or you're trying something for the first time, the Zen Leaf crew will make sure that you leave with exactly what you're looking for. So the next time you're pre-gaming or post-gaming or just trying to chill, visit their website with the link in the description, or visit any of their 8 Valley locations. And don't forget, for a limited time only, use that promo code ZenPHNX, get 50% off. Zen Leaf, great weed, great service every time. And my friends at Circle K, you know I stopped there this morning. I actually have the cup here because I told you I'm on a little bit of a coffee kick. I'm trying to get into it. Somebody said, hey, you got to try Circle K's coffee. So I said, you know what, I'm going to do it. And I have fallen in love with Circle K's coffee. That doesn't mean I'm stopping my Coke Zero too. Maybe I will. But this coffee is amazing. I'm not a big pumpkin spice guy, not at other places, but I've tried the pumpkin coffee over at Circle K, and it is fantastic. And it's a price that you can't beat. It is unbelievable. I got a free one yesterday for National Coffee Day, went back today and got my large. It's unbelievable. You want to become a member of the Inner Circle, though, because you're going to get deals on things like that coffee, plus 25 cents off per gallon on your first 5 Phillips, 3 cents per gallon after that, and then 5 cents off per gallon after you hit that ESPO level. It's super easy to join, so join the Inner Circle today for free by downloading the Circle K app. Terms and conditions apply, like in life. At participating locations, visit CircleK.com for details. And very excited to welcome our guest today that I talked to yesterday, Matt Ishbia, the owner of the Phoenix Mercury and the Phoenix Suns. We talked about the Mercury's journey to the finals. Excited to welcome in the governor of the Phoenix Mercury and Phoenix Suns, Matt Ishbia. Matt, congratulations on the Mercury making the finals.
Yeah, well, we're really excited. Excited for the city, excited for the fans, and obviously the lady's been playing so hard. It's been fun to watch.
About 23 months ago, you tweeted, quote, "Proud to have Nate Tibbetts as our head coach of the Phoenix Mercury. Excited to see him build a winning culture both on and off the court here for the Mercury." Did you at that moment think that in just 2 years that you could be sitting here 4 wins away from a WNBA championship?
Yes, I did think so. Now, did I think it happened in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years? What would it be? You know, it's hard to really predict on how things come together. But Nate has done an amazing job setting the culture on and off the court, along with Nick. The GM, Nick Urin's done an amazing job, too, building the right team, the type of players that we want. And then Nate's coaching them the right way and doing an amazing job. And so it's been a great thing. And obviously, as you know, not too many people thought those hires were that great back then. They didn't really believe in Nick and Nate, and those guys have proven everyone wrong and done an amazing job. And I'm just so impressed with those guys and so proud of them, along with all the players on the team, because they're playing together as a team. And it's been fun to watch.
You've talked about kind of the underdog nature of things for you when you're a player and the mentality of the player 15 group. Is it a little extra special to have a team that, let's be honest, has been underrated all year, make it to the finals for you?
Yeah, it's been fun. You know, honestly, you know, no one thought we could do what we're doing. And I think the women took that as a little bit of a badge of honor, like, let's go show people what we're about. And obviously we had some injury issues throughout the season, and everyone kind of came back together. And obviously we signed DeWanna Bonner halfway through the season as well. But all the rookies and everyone playing together. And we only had 2 players from last year's team. And so we revamped the team, but the culture and identity was set. So Nate had done a good job. Nick had done a good job of what type of players we want and how we're going to coach them. And then got to give all the credit to the players. I mean, these girls are doing amazing things. They never give up. They work together, grit, toughness, all the things we've been talking about, winning mentality, they've got it. And obviously it starts with AT, the leader and the winner, but also Copper and Satu. But you can go all the way through the whole roster. Everyone's contributing and playing their role, which is fun.
Alyssa Thomas had an MVP caliber season. When you watched what she did, how fantastic was that to see, and what does she mean to this team and this finals run?
Oh, she's been unbelievable. You know, I think I even tweeted out at some point, she's the MVP of the league, just like I thought Nate Tibbetts should be the coach of the year. And obviously neither of them won those things, but they deserve it. And Alyssa Thomas, most valuable player, I mean, she makes everyone around her better. She raises the level of our team. She's that valuable to us, and she's done an amazing job, and she deserves all the credit she's getting and then some. And she plays defense, she plays offense, she passes, she rebounds, she scores when she needs to, she's clutch. She's got that dog in her, and it's awesome to watch. And so she deserves all the credit she's getting and then some. And it's an honor that she wanted to come and be part of the Phoenix Mercury. And we got her, and we're excited.
When you look at what Coach Tibbetts and Nick Uren have built, what is it about that culture and the approach that was able to take a roster that you said was completely turned over from last year and have it become a cohesive unit like it has been?
Yeah, well, a lot of work, a lot of effort, a lot of communication. You know, Coach Nate has done so much with them from everything from film sessions to meeting people and spending time with each other on the road and doing all the little things that it takes. You got to build relationships. You got to hold people accountable. You got to push them to be the best version of themselves. And Nate's done a great job. And obviously Nick's put the right pieces. We scouted players that people hadn't heard of before, and we brought them over, and they've done great things. And we got some players that have done well other places, and they're even doing better here. And so it's just a combination of both those gentlemen doing an amazing job. Josh Bartelstein as well, who's been a big part of helping get Nick and Nate in the right positions so they could execute their job, and really the whole Mercury organization. So, Vince Kozar, the president, there's a lot of people that have made an impact, but at the end of the day, got to give credit to the players and the coaches. They're the ones that earned this and deserve it. And I'm so happy the fans can enjoy the games and enjoy watching a finals run right now.
You've talked about spending the money and success will follow. You invested in the Mercury training facility and making sure that it was world class. How important has that been in part building the culture for this team?
Well, I think it's a big part of it. I think, when I bought the teams, you say Suns, you say Mercury too, because it's both franchises. It wasn't one or the other. It was both franchises. And when you spend money on the Suns, you spend money on the Mercury. You spend money on the Mercury, you spend money on the Suns, and investments. And so a lot of things we've done where you invest, you put your money in, you put your time in too. That's an investment as well. And good things happen. And you don't know how they're going to happen or when they're going to happen, but I think the practice facility is a big part of the success where these players want to be here, and they're giving the best treatment, the best opportunities to work on their game, to get more shots up, to do all the things because they're professional athletes. You got to give them the best of everything and then let them be the best version of themselves. And we're seeing them as the best version of themselves, I think, right now, and competing for a WNBA championship here soon.
When you look ahead, what do you think is the key to getting that fourth title for the Phoenix Mercury?
Well, obviously we got to figure out who we're playing first, but the most important thing besides who we're playing is, are we going to continue to have that mentality, that relentless, unforgiving mentality that we are never out of a game. We will compete to the final whistle, final horn, or whatever you want to say, but we are going to compete all game, and we're going to stay positive. We're going to outperform. We're going to put in the extra work, whether it's film, whether it's shooting, whatever it takes to be champions. And so we have an opportunity that doesn't come along very often. Obviously, I think the Mercury have been champions 3 times before, and this is our 6th ever appearance in the WNBA Finals. But this is an opportunity to compete for a championship, and we're not taking it lightly, and I think the players are really excited.
Matt, really appreciate your time, and good luck in the finals.
Hey, thanks so much. Appreciate you.
So we find out tonight who the Phoenix Mercury will play, whether it's the Indiana Fever or the Las Vegas Aces. Game 1 is on Friday. Always a pleasure to catch up with Matt Ishbia and appreciate his insight into how they put together the team. And I think that team is a reflection of what we will see with the Phoenix Suns. That is another Southwest bias in the books. A big thank you to the mustache behind the Mac, Shane Diefenbach. You can follow him on socials at Shane Dief. You can follow the program at PHNX_sports, and you can follow me at Espo. And remember, Calais, I love you, but I don't agree with you. Ahoy, hoy!
We all silly like the mayor.